clothing folding video. I am switching out my closet for the new season, and I thought that it would be a good opportunity to sort of go ahead and use some hand motions in a longer video. I know that I have used hand motions in other videos, but not for an extended period of time. So I'm hoping that these motions will be relaxing for you. I will be talking about individual items of clothing as well as touching and describing them. So I hope that you enjoy this and that it brings you some peace and relaxation. And just know that I am here and thinking about each and every one of you, and I truly appreciate your support and encouragement, and I hope that you will continue to give me feedback, even if it's criticism, because I truly want to be here for you and make a difference for you and help increase the happiness and relaxation in your life. So I hope you enjoy. So I will be taking some of my winter clothing and putting it into this tub, which is currently filled up about the halfway mark with sentimental pieces of clothing from my past, things that I don't wear anymore, but I couldn't quite bring myself to get rid of. So the first thing that I have here is a sweater of sorts. It's just a little too thick to wear unless it's pretty chilly out. I tend to run hot, and living in a hot state of the United States means that I have limited times of the year in which I can wear anything more than a t-shirt. So I really like this sweater. I got it from Target a couple years ago, and it's purple, which is my favorite color, and it's quite plain except for the fact that it has some dark purple stitching along the neck and back along the shoulders. So I think it's kind of understated and pretty. And I'll be sad to see it in the box, but it's that time. So I'm not an expert folder, and I can tell already that the top of this garment is going to be more narrow than the bottom. However, my end goal is just to make a sort of compact rectangle with not too many awkward creases. Something like this, which will maximize the amount of space that I can have in my tub. nearly the same sweater. I believe that I bought them the same year from Target, but this one is actually even thicker than the previous one, and makes it even harder to wear in this climate. I'm hoping eventually that I will move back to the Northeast where I am from, and I'll have good reason to wear all of my sweaters because I do enjoy dressing for the cold, maybe more so than dressing for the summer. This sweater too has a bit of contrast with the stitching, and it has the same V that the previous sweater has, but this one's colored in a darker black. It's actually a more comfortable fabric in my opinion. And this one I'm okay with being a bit bulkier on the one side because I actually have a bit of a dip in my tub that I need to fill in so that the rest of the clothes will be even. And laying flat. Next I have a shirt that I've had since high school. I graduated from high school in 2008, so this shirt is pretty old. And as many of you know, if you keep up with my channel, I play a lot of video games and predominantly World of Warcraft. And in World of Warcraft, there are things called guilds, which are groups of people, and guild names are displayed in a set of brackets like these. I'm actually realizing that I'm not sure what the technical name is for this shape. I know that a standard bracket is straight, and the last time I can remember seeing these outside of WoW, World of Warcraft, was in math class, maybe even earlier than high school. So, I'm sure some of you smarty pants out there know what they're called, but you'll have to forgive me for not knowing. I had this shirt custom made at a some sort of, I guess, shirt and clothing making store that was in the mall where I live for a while. It has since gone out of business, but I still have this. And the funny thing is that there's a girl who I didn't know very well in high school, at least not until the year after I had this shirt made, when she joined the chorus. But I had come into school wearing this shirt one day, and the next week she had the same print on a black hoodie, and still don't know if I'm flattered by that. I don't know if she understood or even knew what it meant. I never confronted her about it, and that's not really in my personality to give it that much attention, but I do think about that when I see this shirt, and part of me wishes that I had had the courage to ask her why she had that hoodie made, because there was no other print like this in the store. Not that I'm a revolutionary, but I had come up with the idea and the color on my own. Anyhow, this next shirt is one of my favorites, actually. It looks pretty good on, if I do say so myself, and I really love this sort of violet color in the striping, and I think that putting it next to black makes it even more vibrant, and I appreciate that. I believe I got this shirt last year from TJ Maxx or Marshalls, which, if you don't live in the United States, they are very similar. I believe they're actually owned by the same parent company, and they frequently have nearly identical merchandise, but they are sort of reduced price stores where you can buy brand new clothing and home accessories and other odds and ends for pretty reasonable prices. I flipped the shirt around to hopefully sort of show you that another reason I think this shirt is very complimenting to the wearer is because it has sort of built-in hourglass shape, as you can see, and I'm a bit of a curvy person, so having that shape already built into the shirt just complements my body type more than a straight shirt. This is definitely another one I'm sad to put in the tub. I always wish that I'd had more time to wear it, but it will be there for next year. The next shirt I have figure, but again, it has a sort of built-in curve along the hips and waist that allows for it to complement my figure. And this is a shirt that I always wish I wore more. I don't have a great organizational system to my closet, other than the fact that all of my shirts and dresses and skirts are hung up. I don't have a messy closet, but I definitely don't color code. I usually actually put similar items together. So all the skirts are together, all the t-shirts, short sleeve, any sort of tank top, dresses, they're all together. And I don't usually take too much time to sort out what I want to wear. So, that being the case, I frequently see this shirt with my other similar shirts out of the corner of my eye, and I think that it's a different shirt, and I forget that I own this shirt, and I miss opportunities to wear it. We're still about halfway. This next shirt also came from Target when I was in high school, and it has a sort of crimped sleeve that's held together with a loop of fabric and a button, which actually does function so that you could let the sleeve hang all the way to about 3/4. But I happen to like the scrunchy look on this shirt, so I've never gone through with unbuttoning it. This shirt also has 3 buttons on the chest and a tiny collar piece of fabric that lays very nicely around the neck. The shirt comes down to a V that's not too low, so I appreciate that I can show a little skin or wear a nice necklace without being too revealing. I really love the fabric of this shirt. It is your classic old t-shirt fabric. It's so soft appropriate. This is also about the only shirt I own that is this lovely salmon color. It looks a little pink in the video, but it is definitely more of a salmon color in real life. This shirt is also very rounded at the bottom. It sort of fountains out, giving a nice shape despite it being a little bit on the baggier side. So I suppose I appreciate that as well. I have another edge of my box that needs a little bit higher cushioning to help level out the clothing. So this will be that. I'm just now noticing how many stripes I own. They say that stripes make you look wider, and they're supposed to be unflattering, but despite not being the skinniest person in the world, I actually think that stripes make me look smaller when they're running left to right. I'm not sure what sort of optical illusion that is that only favors me. I'm sure other people have experienced the same look with stripes. I really do think it has something to do with the cut of the shirt, because most of the striped shirts that I have are pretty well form-fitting, and they're cut for women, and they're not very baggy. So I think that the length of the stripe around just below the chest, around the waist, is physically shorter than the remaining stripes as they go down. They get actually wider, and I think that something about this really gives you more of an hourglass shape, which works for me because my waist, not in the sense that we think of it around the hips, but in the older terminology where it's up just below your chest and above your belly button. My waist is actually quite small in comparison to the rest of me, so that helps when I have a shirt that accentuates the waist, and these stripes fall right at my smallest part. I'm sure you're all just fascinated by the way that I wear my clothes, but I am hoping that if any of you have a similar body type and this is resonating with you and you've never tried stripes before, maybe go out and look for some shirts like these and work with what you've got, I guess. I really do think that we're too hard on ourselves and on our body shape, and I go back and forth because sometimes I sit there and think there's no way that everyone is so thin and athletic and perfect the way that society sort of deems them to be in movies and commercials and magazines, billboards. And sometimes I look online or at advertisements and I think, well, these are all people and they found them somewhere in shape, and I go back and forth between beating myself up and accepting myself. And I think as I've gotten older, I've hit a point where I'm less reluctant to accept my body as it is. And, if I want to eat healthy for a week, that's great. And if I want a donut one day, that's great too, because I really only get one chance to want a donut. So, I think being lovable and desirable comes in many forms and also does not simply rely on the shape of your body. This shirt I've kept since I was 13. There's a band that some of you might know called The Used, and I can remember getting this shirt, and I had only heard a few songs by The Used, but I really liked them, especially The Bird and the Worm. And I had this shirt, and I was so excited to wear it to school freshman year. And then I overheard someone saying that The Used was a stupid emo band, and I got too nervous to wear the shirt, so I only wore it around my house. But I love it, and it has a swooping neckline that lays a little bit off the shoulders, and I love that as well. And so I still wear it, and I wear it out in public now because I don't care if people don't like The Used. I like The Used. I'm not ashamed to say it. This shirt is a little wrinkled already. It's sort of, I think I got it at Hot Topic, and for those of you familiar seen him in a lot of other movies, and I appreciate him as an actor. I think he was also in Dallas Buyers Club, if I remember correctly, as far as more recent movies go that you might know him from. Anyway, I love this shirt because, as you can see, it has this awesome swath of fabric here that's actually attached to the lining of the shirt, and I love how it looks like you're wearing two shirts, and I love this sort of neckline that's almost like a ripped t-shirt, which, by the way, is quite difficult to duplicate on your own. So even though this is another one of my more emo shirts, I have greatly enjoyed it, and as you can see, the sleeves are quite long in comparison to the body, and I'm not sure why they did it that way. Perhaps so that emo kids could bring the sleeves down, make a thumb hole, something, but it actually, the sleeves don't really come down past my arms, so I don't know, maybe I have really long arms or something, and I just don't know it. Next article I have is actually a sweater again, and I also got this sweater when I was in high school. If you can't tell, I haven't gone clothes shopping in a very long time. It's miserable, and I don't have a lot of money, so I don't go out of my way to try to shop. But this sweater I got from Charlotte Russe, which in my opinion has really gone down the toilet over the past few years. The last time I went into one, all of the clothes had intentional holes in them, and they were just quite a bit more, actually let me say it this way, they were quite a bit less practical than the last time I had been there. This sweater is interesting because it actually falls down past the torso and covers the derriere, and it has a stretchy bottom with a cute little bow on the side, and the neck lining sits right over the bust area, so it really, really gives you a shape. You've got extra fabric around the girls, and a very form-fitting bottom. I assume if I were the type of person who wore leggings, that I would wear them with this, but I am not a leggings wearer, so I just wear a nice pair of dark wash jeans or black pants with this. And it is an interesting way to wear a sweater and still have a shape to your body. is one that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love my lightning bolt. It reminds me of The Flash, whom I love, and David Bowie, whom I also love. I hate the tag because it will never lay flat no matter what I do. And the bottom edge of it is very stiff, so it itches terribly. And I know you're thinking, well, Elo, why don't you just cut it off? And I can just tell, based on the stitching, this is going to be one of those tags that just sits there, cuts into your neck if you cut it off. So I would rather contend with a long piece of tag than deal with the scraping. This shirt is also interesting to me because, as you can tell, it has a waist at the bottom, but it also has these parachute bat wing sleeves, which create a sort of draping effect in the top, and through here there's cloth. So it's sort of interesting, and it still has very defined cuffs to the sleeves. So you still get to have your body, but it has these interesting wings of excess fabric. And I still don't know how I feel about that, but I do think it looks okay on. And as I just mentioned, I am not a fan of clothing shopping, so I will keep it for now, despite the fact that I'm probably too old for it. I love these little sequins. They're so pretty. They sort of catch the sun. The next shirt I have apparently has buttons. I hope that wasn't loud. This shirt is my only cranberry colored shirt. And I think that it actually looks very good with blue eyes, which is sort of what I have. I say sort of because sometimes they look green or gray, but especially when I'm wearing this color, they look very blue. So if you have blue eyes, whether you're male or female, I recommend this color. I think as a businessman, it would look really nice to have a button-down shirt or even a tie in cranberry with blue eyes. As we heard, this shirt has 6 buttons, 3 on each sleeve. They are purely decorative buttons. They're sort of metal, makes a nice you know by now, is a big deal for me because I was intentionally shopping. And in doing so, I found a dress that is almost the same color and slightly stretchy material. And it's a long sleeve dress. And I debated folding it and putting it into my box, but I'm still hoping for an opportunity to wear it again. Maybe to a nighttime event that might be indoors with some air conditioning. I know I'm hoping for a lot there, but this next sort of very light knit sweater I also got from Charlotte Russe. I feel pretty confident in saying that this was my second to last purchase there. I know that my last purchase there was 2 pairs of shoes, because if you didn't know and you like flats, Charlotte Russe has really great, inexpensive, comfortable, sort of dressy flats, and they're usually like 2 for $10 or something. And that was the last time I shopped there, but I think I got this the time before that, and that was when I sort of gave up on their clothing selection. I don't know why I keep this shirt, because it's not very flattering. As you can see, it's just a big square. And again, I have stripes, but since it's a perfect square, there's not much of the illusion going on, and I just sort of look wide. It's also very flowy and meant to be baggy. And the reason why I initially liked it was for the back, which is sort of draped open to a very sheer piece of fabric. And this is a little known fact, so listen up. I have tattoos on the bottom half of my back, and I never get to show them off because I just don't wear very revealing clothing. So I thought, hey look, finally a tasteful way for a little bit of my tattoos to be showing. And the truth is, it just does not look that flattering. I was more allured by the idea of having a shirt that would cover me but still show my tattoos than I was concerned with if it was really a good looking garment, which I would say I regret, but it was really cheap. And I think I've worn it out of the house one time, and I wore it over a dress, a little black dress, so my tattoos weren't even showing after all. By the end of this video, you're either going to say, yes, that's why it sucks going clothes shopping, awakening, so I feel that I might finish with this or my next item of clothing, but I do hope that you have enjoyed this, and I do hope that they are not too loud right now. This is a shirt that I also have a love-hate relationship with. The sleeves have a very pronounced and somewhat tight cuff, and when I wear sleeves with tight cuffs, I'm not so much worried about how my arms look, but it does make me feel a little trapped. And this shirt is also a thick sort of wool blend or something. I wonder if it actually says. Polyester, rayon, and spandex. So it's not wool at all. I don't know anything about fabric, but I think it's imitation wool. It's just not as scratchy, but I'll be damned if it isn't as thick and hot. So the combination of the thick material and the tight armbands, despite the fact that it is a short sleeve, make it quite hot. And I have to be in a very particular venue or a very cold venue to want to wear this shirt. But I keep it anyway for the aforementioned reasons. What I do like about this shirt is the neckline, which I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's sort of looped in the center, and right along the chest there's some pleating that just creates a nice little touch of something interesting to an otherwise plain black shirt. This shirt is by the company YA, and I might have gotten it at any number of stores. It was a very long time ago. This is another one of my favorite articles of clothing for fall, winter, and even maybe some spring days that are cool. But as I stated, I live in a hot climate for the majority of the year, and summer is already in full swing here, despite the fact that it's only April. We don't really get much of a spring or a fall or even a winter for that matter, but this shirt is similar to my violet and black striped shirt, except for the fact that these stripes are much thicker, and the dark stripes are actually a navy blue rather than a black, and the blue stripes are not so violet as they are just a nice blue. This is one of the very few articles of clothing that I own from American Eagle. I generally do not fit into any of their clothes. They're just not right for my body type. But this is a large hoodie or something because the V is quite low cut and it's just extremely comfortable, and the sleeves come down. They have this nice extended soft wrist part that comes down almost to my fingertips, so if it's a little chilly I can retract my hands into the top of the sleeves and be nice and warm. The only thing that can improve this would be a little pocket, but I always wonder if I would even want that because this material is very flimsy and stretchy, so I don't think I would actually be able to use the pocket for holding anything other than maybe slipping my hands into it, which, as I already mentioned, the sleeves take care of that, so I don't really care. It sounds like my neighbors have quieted down again, so I'll finish with the last 3 articles. This sort of in-between sweater is another thing that sometimes I think I will get rid of, and then I just can't. It's a similar fabric to the salmon colored shirt, the buttons, the V, but it's a similar cut to the lightning bolt shirt. It has less of the webbing in the armpit area, but other than that, it's very similar, and the cut of the neck is just tight enough that you don't need to worry about an undershirt or bra, but it's wide enough that you don't feel suffocated, and you can wear a nice necklace and it's not too hot. So for practicality reasons and the fact that it looks pretty good with jeans, I keep this one around. It also has a bit of a pouched look down at the bottom seam and around the cuffs, so it's not totally styleless, I suppose. It's well cut, I think, and I do enjoy this style of shirt or t-shirt where you have the line cutting across towards the arm. It reminds me of baseball players' shirts, jerseys, and I think that's where the style originated, but I'm not sure of the name for this cut. The second to last shirt that I have is another oldie but goodie from Target. It has 2 pockets towards and it is another extended length shirt. So I'm sure again if I wore leggings this would be a good shirt for that, but I just wear it with jeans. It has 3/4 length sleeves. Which are nice for colder weather without being too hot. It's very soft material, but it's not that same t-shirt material. It has the baby doll cut way up at the top and a little bit of crimping around that very top seam. In the back is a tiny little peekaboo hole with one big black shiny button. It's not very sexy or anything, but it adds a little bit of flavor to an otherwise black shirt. And I absolutely love the pockets on this shirt because they're quite large and I can sneak snacks and my phone around. And yes, those are my priorities. The last shirt I'm going to pack away is another one that I hate mainly, but I keep it because number one, it was expensive for me, and number two, I keep thinking maybe I'll like it again someday. I try it on every year and I think that's not so bad, and then I go to wear it and I never go through with it. And the reason why is because the neckline is just a complete semicircle. And I just don't think it makes me look very good. The bottom of the shirt, as you can see, makes a huge bell flare. And the top layer of the shirt ends quite before the back, so it has a little bit of a ducktail. And I think if this were longer and a dress, that would be a cute look. But as a shirt, it's just not that great. But I got it from the Gap. And male or female, if you've ever shopped at the Gap, you know that their clothing is entirely too expensive. And I haven't shopped there in a really long time for that reason. But this shirt also has 3 buttons on the back, right up near the neck, which is okay, I guess. I really should just donate this shirt, but I'm going to keep it in case I like it next year. Am I the only person that does that? I would love to know in the comments if you guys have a similar ritual for the change of season, where you change out your clothes and maybe you have a tub like I do, or a vacuum sealed bag, or closet, whatever your rituals are, or maybe you just keep all of your clothes in your closet and dresser year round, and good for you if you do. I wish I could, but it just drives me insane to have to weed through the things that I'm not gonna wear. So, let me know. Do you ever keep clothing just because you think you might like it later? I definitely do. Anyway, I'm so glad that I was able to do this folding video for you. I hope that the background noise wasn't too much. I think this was one of my more fortunate recordings in terms of background noise, and I hope that that reflects. And I'm looking forward to doing another video. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, requests for videos you'd like to see in the future, definitely say something in the comments. I try to reply to everyone individually, and I'm definitely still thinking about and finding out ways to accomplish some of the other videos that have been requested of me, especially some videos that are tailored to men. Such as a suit fitting or a shave roleplay. So let me know what you think, what you're interested in, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are calm